Hey everyone, Adam here. So today I thought it would be interesting to just kind of, show my thoughts in real time about trying to think through a problem or troubleshoot. And admittedly, I'm about 70% of the way through it. I don't know. I was debating when to actually film this because I didn't want to do it too soon because you'd be like, what's this guy ranting on about? So I'm about 70% of the way through it. I just kind of wanted to give you some insights and thoughts of my thought process when trying to figure out how to improve a workflow or whatever problem you may be trying to solve. So a little bit of background information. As you may know, I think prioritizing exercise is extremely important. And so basically, and that goes for strength training and cardio. So I have a routine where I'll basically do a total body workout about roughly 3 times a week. Now, in the past, I would write down things and kind of log, how many reps I'm doing with my deadlift or my curls or whatever exercise I happen to be doing. And so this was a great approach as far as looking at what I've written down and kind of going back in the past and seeing, any kind of improvements that I may or may not be making. But it wasn't perfect. It had some issues. One of the things I noticed is I didn't really have, I wasn't keeping track of my time, my rest in between sets. I would just basically, 5 minutes would pass and I'd be like, oh man, I got to go back to the deadlift or whatever. And so I solved that with like an analog timer. And again, it wasn't the end of the world, but I was always thinking like, okay, is there a better way to kind of keep me track and guide me through the exercise program that I just wrote out? Plus, it would probably take me around maybe 5 to 10 minutes to actually write out what I wanted to do. Now, fast forward to maybe 6 months ago, I didn't think I would like this product as much as I have, but it's been a very positive purchase in my life, and that is this little GPS watch here. I use this a lot more than I thought I would. I use it to log running, walks, and eventually cross-country skiing and biking. And that's been phenomenal for that. It also has a mode for weight training. And once I figured out how to use it, it actually is very useful. I can basically, within the app, this is the Coros app, I can quickly program exactly what I want. I can save it. I can say how many reps and stuff that I want to do and how many sets and the rest period. And what it does on the watch is it guides me through the entire workout and process. So I've got it on my wrist and I never have to think like, okay, how much rest time do I want? And you can save the program. So instead of manually me writing out every single time that I'm going to do a workout, I just save it. And I may make some small modifications here and there, but it usually takes me 3 minutes. And then I sync it to my watch and I'm ready to go. So for a while, this was great. And I still like this because when I'm done with my workout, it would automatically sync to Strava. However, there are some issues with this approach as well that I've never been completely satisfied with. And one of the main problems is up front you have to say how many sets and reps you're going to do. And for the most part, I would stay on track with the sets. That wasn't too much of an issue because I'm a big believer in kind of listening to your body as you work out. But sometimes the reps either wouldn't be there. I would be like, oh, I'm going to do 12, and then that day I'm like, man, I did 14 or 15. And there's no really good way to log how many I actually did because at the end of that particular set, the GPS watch doesn't allow you to input that data. Also, that data, even if it did allow me to input that, would not sync to Strava. Strava basically does not tell me what exercises I did. It just says that I did a weightlifting session for this amount of time. I can go back into the Coros app and see, what I did, the rest period and all that stuff in between my different sets. But it's a little bit clunky, I think. I mean, it works, but I don't know. It just wasn't great. You can, on the Chorus Fitness GPS watch, you can set it so that through accelerometers, it will automatically detect the amount of reps that you did. However, depending on the exercise, I just found that wildly inaccurate, and it wasn't that helpful for me. So I have disabled that feature because I just haven't found that helpful. So that got me thinking, can I refine this even more? Are there even better solutions out there? And along comes this app on my phone that I've been playing around with. It's called the Simple Workout Log, and it is very, very simple. But it has some positives, some great positives about it. One, it's simple. The interface it's not that pretty. And again, I don't want to do a review on it necessarily. So this is just a very, very short review. But the interface is I would consider it a little bit clunky. It takes some use to kind of navigating and finding your way around in the application. It's best way I can describe it is it's not as intuitive as a lot of other apps in general are out there. But the functionality is super simple, and it has what I am looking for. So you can see here, basically, I can quickly just log when I'm going to do my exercise. There's a little timer down here. Timer isn't the greatest because if I'm listening to music, sometimes it's hard to hear the timer. I don't know why. I'll have to look into that. And so I've been only playing around with this for a week. And this app does have some advantages. You can create routines. You create your custom routines, so it's very easy to save. And then you can go back after you've done your routine on this little calendar widget here. And you can basically select and look at retrospectively what you did for that day. The other great advantage is you can go into the exercise itself, and I think it keeps a log of 90 days. Again, I haven't reached that yet, but it keeps a log for 90 days of all the reps and sets you did, so I can quickly look at my exercise and see, am I improving? Am I staying the same? Maybe I want to up an extra rep for the weight now that I've been doing this for 3 months. And I've never really had access to that information. Even when I was logging things by hand, I wasn't able to drill down that well. So lots of advantages potentially with this app. And so I'm working through it. So this is me working in real time of figuring out, like, how do I want to do it? What are my goals with all of this? And so as of right now, my goals with working out are probably a lot different than most people. I want to keep track of the time that I am allocating towards working out. Like, am I doing hour sessions, an hour and 10 minutes? What is that time component? And so I can, with this simple workout log, I can run my GPS in what's called, gym cardio mode. And basically it will log my heart rate and the time that I've been doing that particular workout. And then when it downloads into Strava automatically, I'll have that time component. I'll have my entire heart rate for that. And I don't care too much about heart rate, but I do care about the time. And then I can quickly change that activity to a weightlifting session. And then in Strava, I can look at my calendar and see how much time I'm dedicating towards that. And again, it's very frictionless. It takes me, less than a minute to set that up before my workout. And so that's the goal. I want to log this stuff, but I don't want to spend more than like 2 minutes like setting things up and logging all of this stuff. My other goal with all of this is to slowly over time increase my weight. And again, I don't know how valuable this retrospective data will be, in the sense that, like, I'm not looking to add extra weight like once a month or even, once every 2 weeks. Like maybe other programs, if you're trying to really build strength, like quickly, would have you do that. And so this data might be a lot more valuable in that situation, because my end goal is to be able to do this until as long as I can, until I'm 80. So I'm trying to, if I live that long, so I'm trying to avoid injury as much as possible. So I'm definitely more on the conservative side as far as ramping up my weight and my reps. And so, like, I don't know, maybe I don't need this information. And so these are all the things that I'm kind of working through in the back of my mind. But if it only takes a minute to log, then maybe it's like, even if I don't utilize this information, the entry into logging this information is such a minimal constraint that, yeah, maybe it's worth logging this. So again, this is my thoughts in real time and how I'm kind of like working through and figuring out exactly what I want to do. So, and let me give you an example with like a deadlift of what my long-term goals are, right? Like if I could lift 250 pounds on a hex deadlift until I'm 80, I would be sad. I would take that and be relatively injury free versus I peak maybe when I'm 45, but I'm lifting 400 pounds on the hex deadlift, but I hurt myself and then I can no longer work out at the age of 65 because I overdid it earlier. I would much rather be consistent and just lift that 250 pounds until I'm 80, right? So those are my goals, just to give you some perspective. So I'm trying to reduce the risk of injury as much as possible to continue doing this, because I think strength training is very valuable and very important. So at this point, my status on everything, I'm going to log everything with Simple Workout Log for a month. I'm going to see how that goes, see how I like it, some of the pros and cons. I am going to, at the bare minimum, run my GPS watch in that gym cardio mode, because again, it takes 30 seconds to set up and do. And I may do that for a month, see how it is. And then I will, I'm contemplating if I want to also maybe I run both at the same time. Like I'll set up both of my routines on my watch and in Simple Workout, the Simple Workout Log. The disadvantage of that is obviously going to take a little bit more time to set up, but if I can save out my workouts and stuff, maybe it won't take that much time. And the advantage to that is I've got the guided workout on my watch, which I really, really do enjoy. And then I can actually log that information on my phone as I'm doing the workout. So maybe that's the best of both worlds. So I would explore that possibility as well. And as long as it doesn't take me, more than like 5 minutes to build the routines and set this all up, that also may be a very viable option. And, I think this is much better because like what I was doing in the past when I was running the entire workout through my watch is I had a text file and, because again, Strava doesn't tell you the workouts that you did, like it just tells you the amount of time. And so I would, in the notes section, I would just list all the exercises I was doing, but to copy that over and to modify it, like it was slightly annoying because I'd have to do it after the fact and I wouldn't remember exactly how many reps I did and it just was not a great system. And so, I think the Simple Workout Log will be a much better solution for my needs. So that's it. Those are my thoughts kind of in real time of how I'm working through this. If anyone's interested, maybe in like 3 months, I'll do an update video of like where this all stands and what works and what doesn't. As always, hopefully you found this somewhat useful. It's a bit rambly just because it's, again, my thoughts in real time. But I don't know, hopefully you were able to pick some good information out of this and apply this to your own problems that you're trying to solve. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.